Erev Tov, we're here in the weekly Dvar Malchus class, and tonight we're beginning a new sicha, from the parsha, the portion of Tetzaveh. Excuse me. In the PDF file, 15, 16, 17, 18, I think it's on page 18, if I'm not mistaken. In the hard copy, it's in this print, it's 372, and it's titled Tetzaveh Base because there were two sichas that were edited by the Rebbe and that were printed in regard to two times that the Rebbe spoke and during the parsha of Tetzaveh, and we'll begin. Tetzaveh base, Misichos Shabbos Parshas Tetzaveh, from the public addressal of the Shabbos of the portion of Tetzaveh, Yud Aleph Adar Rishon, which was then the 11th of the first Adar, Tafshin Hey Alefim Tafshin Nun Beis 5792. Aleph. The Rebbe here basically brings, in regard to the portion of Tetzaveh, the two types of services that the Kohen had in the Mishkan, in the tabernacle. One was the kindling of the lights of the golden candelabra in the Mishkan, and the other, a second one, was amongst all the services was the haktoras, the offering of the incense in the tabernacle. And the Rebbe comes to explain these two types of services and what is the joining, connecting line between them. Aleph. At the beginning and the end of the portion of the Tetzaveh, it speaks about the kindling of the lights of the golden candelabra. At the beginning of the parsha, as it states, and they shall take unto you pure olive oil, in order to go into to kindle the perpetual light, or the perpetual candle. Be'el Mayed Gamer, in the tent of the testament. These lights shall be set by Aaron and his sons from the evening until the morning. In other words, that's when they were lit, from the evening till the morning, and they lit throughout the night. And at the end of the parsha, we find early in the morning, when they would do the hatova. In other words, the Kohanim would do the preparation of the candelabra in order to be lit. The old wicks had to be taken out or cleaned, and the new ones had to be placed with the new oil. And this would be later on, in order for Aaron to go and to kindle the lights at sunset. And the main novelty at the end of the parsha, that the lighting of the candelabra was connected with the incense, the sacrificing of the incense. As it states, and you shall make an altar, miktar kteres, in order to bring, to sacrifice, to bring the incense. The hikter of Aaron kteres samim babaker, and Aaron will bring these incense early in the morning. When he would prepare the lights, the candles of the candelabra, yaktirena, then he will bring the incense. And when Aaron will raise or kindle the lights at sunset, yaktirena, then these incense will also be burnt. They will be offered. In other words, that when the time that the incense was meant to be brought and to be offered, this is the time of hatovas, the preparing of the lights of the candelabra, and ha'aloas, and the kindling of the lights of the neres, of the lights of the candelabra. Be'idan hatova tehei miktar teres. At the time of the preparation of the lights of the candelabra, there will be the offering of the incense. Be'idan hadloko tehei miktar teres. And at the time of the lighting of the candelabra, like we said, this was Bein Harabayim at sunset. Tehei miktar teres. There will be also an offering of the incense on the golden mizbeach, the golden altar in the Mishkan. And furthermore, that the offering of the incense was right in the middle of the preparation of the lights of the candelabra. What do we mean by this? It was right in the middle. L'das Chachomim, according to the opinion of Chachomim, of the sages, the Kohen was not meant to prepare all the seven lights of the menorah, only 5. And afterwards, yaktir yaktir, and afterwards he will offer incense. Ella yaktir ba'emtza, but he should offer the incense in the middle. And only afterwards he shall finish the preparation or preparing of the lights of the candelabra. Yigmor hatovas stein. In other words, the last 2 that were left there after the offering of the incense, these last 2 lights will be prepared to be lit in the morning for the later on lighting of the actual lighting of the menorah in the afternoon at sunset. Okay. In other words, that we make a pause between the preparation of the first 5 lights of the candelabra and the last 2 lights of the candelabra, bakteris, with the offering of the incense. And this is not as the opinion of Abba Shol. And by the way, Abba Shol is a local Tzvatonian. He's a little closer to Beria, but he's literally on the way to Ibikur. If anyone has ever been to Abba Shol, he's actually there with his Rebbetzin, with his wife, Abba Shol v'Ishtay. What is Abba Shol's opinion? Shemetiv kulan v'achakach maktir. That first the Kohen will prepares all the lights of the golden candelabra, all 7, and only afterwards he offers the incense on the golden mizbeach, the golden altar. As it states in its simple sense, early in the morning when he will prepare the lights of the menorah, and only afterwards it states v'hadar yaktirena. Then afterwards it only states that he will offer the incense. From here he understands, according to his opinion, that first all the 7 lights should be prepared, and only afterwards the incense was offered. There is a recess. There is a recess that we do between the preparing of the first 5 lights of the candelabra and the last two lights of the candelabra, but it's not the offering of the incense. It is zrikas dam hatomid. It is the throwing of the throwing of the blood of the perpetual sacrifice, the korban tomid, upon the altar. Okay. V'halacha kachachomim. What is the halacha? The halacha follows the opinion of the sages, not like Abba Shol. Kipsak din Rambam, as we see also in the opinion of Rambam in his book of law. After the blood was thrown upon the altar, the atomid of the tomid sacrifice, meitiv zeh shebaheichal chomesh neres. The individual that is in the heichal, in the sanctuary, would prepare 5 lights. V'yetzin shneim min haichal, and both of them would leave the sanctuary. V'achar kach mefisin, and then they would draw lots. What for? It's not Purim. No, they would draw lots. V'zeiche bakteres mishezocha, and whoever drew the lot would merit the offering of the incense for that day. V'nichnas umaktir, and he would go in and he would offer the incense. V'achar kach, and afterwards, says the Rambam, nichnas zeh shezocha b'dishon hameneira, the one that drew the lot and had the merit of the cleaning of, or the preparing and the cleaning of the ashes of the candelabra from the previous wicks that burnt in the evening. He would go in, umeitiv shtei neres, and he would continue and finish the work of the preparing of the menorah for its being lit. And he would finish the last 2 lights of the menorah to prepare. Great. But this is again the opinion of Chachomim, the sages. And the Rebbe says, we need to explain, we need to give clarity to the concept of the ktores, the offering of the incense, v'adlokas haneres, and the kindling of the lights of the golden candelabra, v'sheichusim zeh lezeh, and their connection one with the other, ba'avedas ha'adam, when it comes to the instruction that they're supposed to give to the service of the human being, the service of each and every one of us. As is known, that all the concepts, all the services, and everything that exists in the Mishkan, in the tabernacle, uva migdash, and later on in the temple, the Beis HaMikdash, yeshnam ba'avedas ha'adam, exist in the service of the human being to Hashem, b'chol yom v'yom, each and every day, b'mishkan u'mikdash shebay, in the sanctuary, or in the tabernacle and in the temple, which is within us. Like it states, in regard to the commandment of Hashem for us to make a Beis HaMikdash, they shall make for me a sanctuary, and I will dwell within them, not within it, but within each and every one of us, not only within the sanctuary or the temple, the Beis HaMikdash, but in each and every individual person. Within it is not stated, but within them, within each and every individual. And as is also stressed in what we say, for the completion, or the substitution for the oxen, for the bulls that were offered in the Beis HaMikdash, are sifaseinu, our lips, the words of our prayer that we daven. Ba'ascholas atfila, as it states at the beginning of the liturgy, Parshas Trumas Hadeshen, the portion of the cleaning of the ashes from the candelabra, Parshas HaTomid, the portion of the sacrificing of the Korban Tomid, the perpetual, the permanent sacrifice, Uparshas HaKteres, and the portion of the incense, the ad, and until we come to the point in the liturgy that states Ule Abaye Hava Mesader Seder Ma'arocha Chulu, that Abaye would make an order in the order of the Ma'arocha, the order of the sacrifices upon the altar, etc. In other words, he made an order in regard to how the order of the day in the Beis Hamikdash from when it began until it ended at sunset. And with a greater stressing in regard to the portion of the incense. For besides this portion being mentioned in the written written law, in the written Torah, like as we see in the portions of Trumas Hadeshen, the taking out of the ashes of the lights of the candelabra, Uda Tomid, and in the sacrifice of the Tomid, the Parshas Tisa, in the portion of Ki Tisa, Kach lechos samim gamer, take it unto yourself incense, V'asisa isakteres, and you shall make them into a keteres, into a smoke that will come up from the incense. V'nosatam mimena, and you shall give from this incense, koilel gamad goshes sheichusel adlokas haneros, this including the stressing of its connection with the kindling of the lights of the candelabra, kefisha mamshichim, as it states and continues, v'nemar v'ikter lov Aaron kteres, and it states that Aaron will offer incense upon it. Beitivei haneros, when will he offer the incense? When he prepares the lights to be lit in the golden candelabra, and when he later on he actually kindles the lights of the golden candelabra, then it will be the time for the keteres, the incense, to be offered. It is added, and we add in length, also in the details of the preparation of the incense, as are explained in the Braisa. These are the Mishnayos that Rebbe did not put into the Shisha Sidre Mishnah. Tonu Rabbonon, our rabbis have taught, Pitum Akteres Ketzad, how is the preparation of the incense? Ve'achadasar samamonim hoyu v'chulu, and there were 11 elements in that made up the incense. Kidilakaman, as we are going to see in the continuation. We'll go on with one more letter. It's a short ice. Uvehegdem Shiloh Tmia Benegel Parshas Haneros, and with prefacing a question and something that raises surprise in regard to the portion of the lights of the golden candelabra, or Parshas Mizbeach HaKteres, and in the portion of the altar of the incense, Shabbos Cholos v'Siyum Parshas Tetzaveh, that are brought at the beginning and the end of the portion of Tetzaveh. La'achri Parshas Truma, after the portion of Truma, Sheba Nizbaru Prote Inyonim, the Meleches Amishkan, in which all the details of the service in the tabernacle were explained. Maschila Parshas Tetzaveh, the portion of Tetzaveh commences bechehunase shel Aaron uvanav, with the priesthood of Aaron and his sons. Ve'ata hakreve lecha, and now, and you shall bring close to you. La'achar shetigmar melechas hamishkan, after you finish the service or the work of the tabernacle, es Aaron achicha ve'es banav gemer, you should bring close to you Aaron your brother and his sons, lechaneli, in order for them to be my priests, to serve me in the tabernacle, and to be the public servants of the entire Jewish nation. And this is done first and foremost by the preparing of the garments of the Kohen, of the priest. You shall prepare holy garments in order for him to be a priest for me and to sanctify him. To enter him into the priesthood through the fact that he will be wearing the holy garments of the priest, in order for him to be a priest unto me, says Hashem. As is also explained in detail in the continuation of the parsha. Ad Revi, till the fourth reading of the parsha, and to the point where the Kohanim, Aaron and his sons, are prepared. They are prepared in order for them to be able to know how to go and how to go about the service in the tabernacle, in the Mishkan. As it states also, this is what you are meant to do unto them. To sanctify them to serve me in priesthood. Yad Aaron v'yad Banov, and you shall prepare, educate the hand of Aaron and the hand of his sons, al yedei protei ha'inyonim, through the details of the concepts, the shivas yemei hamiluim, of the 7 days of education, preparation, in order for them to be able to go and to be fit to serve in the tabernacle, in the Mishkan. Shal yedei hamiluim halalu, for it is through these preparations and education, nismalu yedeim v'niskachu lechuna, their hands were prepared and they were sanctified to become priests. And this is explained in the continuation of the parsha, from the fourth reading of the in the parsha until the sixth reading. And since the majority, as it is considered, even the entire parsha, since it's the majority of the parsha of Tetzaveh, deals with the priesthood of Aaron, the high priest, the Kohen Gadol. Tzarich lahavin, we need to understand the following, says the Rebbe. Ma'u hatam she'aschalosa beparshas haneros v'siyuma beparshas mizbeach hakteres. What is the reason that the beginning of the parsha begins with the neros, the lights of the golden candelabra, and the end of the parsha ends and culminates with what? With the altar of the incense. What's going on here? What kind of an order is this? What does this have to teach us in our individual service to Hashem on a daily basis? And furthermore, these two portions, Parshas Haneros and Parshas Mizbeach Hakteres, the portion of the lights of the candelabra and the portions of the altar of the incense, nichtavu lichora shalei b'mkoimam. They are written not in their appropriate place. At least it seems to be that this is not the appropriate place as far as the order of the Torah is concerned. And the Rebbe elaborates. Parshas Haneros, the portion of the lights of the golden candelabra, Kevan Shalei Nemra Kan, since it is not given over in its entirety here, Elal Seder Melechas HaMishkan, but it's only mentioned in regard to the order of the service in the tabernacle, Lefarish Tzarech HaMenorah, in order to explain the need for the golden candelabra. Mekema, where is its actual place? Lichura, at least at first glance, Beseder Melechas HaMishkan, is in the order of the work of the tabernacle. Be'emshech la'asiyas ha'menorah be'parshas Truma. This should be in the continuation of the actual commandment and explanation of the making of the golden candelabra in the portion of Truma. And especially at the since at the end of the making of the menorah, Ne'emar vehelas ne'osea, it states, and he shall kindle its lights. So where are you supposed to go and explain it? There in Truma, not here. Not at the beginning of the portion of Tetzaveh, Sheba Medubar Oides Kehunas Aaron, in which is explained what? The priesthood of Aaron. It's one of the things that Aaron does. But this is not its place. It should have been explained as a continuation in the previous parsha of Truma in regard to the making of the menorah, and then what has to be done with and how the candelabra and the lights are lit in actuality. Ubeparshas Mizbeach HaKteres, and the Rebbe continues to elaborate in regard to the portion of the altar of the incense. Kfi shikshu amforshim, as actually many commentaries come and ask, shemekema, that its place lichura at first glance, the Parshas Truma is also in the portion of Truma. The Yachadim Kol Klei HaMishkan, together with all the vessels of the tabernacle. Ha'orein, the holy ark, Hashulchan, the golden table, HaMenorah, the golden candelabra, Mizbeach HaChitzain, and the outside altar. Then it was called the copper altar, Mizbeach HaNechoshes, upon which the sacrifices were offered. The Lebes Seif Parshas Tetzaveh, and not at the end of the portion of Tetzaveh, the next portion, La'achre kol protei ha'inyonim da mishkan v'kelov, after all the details that were elaborated upon in the portion in regard to the tabernacle and the vessels of the tabernacle, of Bigdei Kehuna v'amiluim, the garments of the priests, of the Kohanim, v'amiluim, and the educating and the preparing of the priests in order to be able to actually serve in the Mishkan, in the tabernacle. And in order to be able to know and to understand the answers to these questions, we'll have to, Bezras Hashem, continue next week. Bezrat Hashem, we should be happy and healthy. Chodesh Tov, a good month of Nisan, as it states, B'Nisan nigalu avuseinu b'Mitzrayim. It is in the month of Nisan that our forefathers were redeemed. We were taken out of the Egyptian exile. Or B'Nisan osidim li goel, and we are promised that in the month of Nisan we will be redeemed in the Geula Hashlema Vamitis, in the true and the complete redemption with the revelation of the Rebbe Shlitah Melech HaMoshiach. And the main thing is that it should be Teichef Umiyad, Mamish, Mamish, Mamish. Yechi Adonenu Moreno Verabeinu, HaMelech HaMoshiach, Chai V'Kayom Le'olam Voed. Amen.